Welcome to Mama Agata recipes. Today we're making a corteccia pasta with sausage and cherry tomatoes. So now Gennaro is going to show us all the ingredients that you need to make this recipe. Let's have a look. Okay, so we need sweet cherry tomatoes, and because this is not exactly the period for very sweet cherry tomatoes, we're going to combine them with our sweet cherry tomatoes in water and salt. That we jarred them in August when they were very sweet. Then we're using sausage, pork sausage. This is not spicy. It's a beautiful pork sausage without any black pepper, only with fennel seeds and white wine. We're using then extra virgin olive oil, Mama got extra virgin olive oil, but any extra virgin olive oil is good. Mediterranean fine sea salt for the cooking. Parsley, fresh garlic. In case you don't have fresh garlic, we also have the dehydrated garlic. And we're using also, in case at the end you like to spice your food, the sauce, you can use our red herb. And to cook the sausage, we're using wine. And we're using the Terra del Principe white wine, which is an amazing winery in Italy. They produce some of the best red, white, and rosé wine, and we also ship them all over the world, but they are absolutely fantastic with this recipe. Okay, so now let's start slowly. First step, what we are going to do now, we're going to chop the cherry tomatoes in quarters, cube them so that they are not too big. Chop them all. Very important, if you are out of the season, if it's not right July, August, and you buy sweet cherry tomatoes, you need to combine them with something sweet. This is the reason why we are going to use our sweet cherry tomatoes, because combined the sweet cherry tomatoes, they are very sweet together. So let's chop them in quarters. Of course, you can use a tray to cube the cherry tomatoes. Next step, sausage. Now we actually have the sausage in case, so what Gennaro is doing is he's removing the case, the sausage, it's taking the sausage out of the case, putting them in a bowl. And now what he's going to do is pouring the white wine from Land of the Prince, Terra del Principe, inside the bowl and not in the pan. Why he's doing that? Because when you pour the wine in the bowl, he's able to mince the meat. Okay, and now we're starting to cook the sauce. The first thing that we have to do is to pour extra virgin olive oil in a pan, because we're going to cook separately the sausage from the cherry tomatoes. So olive oil, extra virgin olive oil or virgin olive oil in a pan, and then add whole cloves of garlic. Don't chop them. We will use the chopped one when we cook the tomatoes. But for the sausage, just for the moment, olive oil and garlic. And please, do not heat the oil. Forget what they normally say. Just put the olive oil, the garlic, and then you turn on the flame. The only reason is because in this way we will be able to infuse the garlic into the oil. We will not burn it. Okay, this is important. You will see slowly, like I said. I always say use your senses when you cook. Use your eyes, your ears, and use your nose. Because slowly, gently, you will see it's how slowly it's happening. You will start to smell with your nose the garlic, means the garlic start to infuse the oil. The second thing that it's starting to happen slowly are bubbles. See, there are small bubbles. They're starting to come up around the garlic very slowly. What are the bubbles? I call them Prosecco bubbles. These bubbles is the juice, the liquid, so therefore the flavor that it's gently coming out of the garlic. So it's very important that you don't rush, but you gently do that. And also what you will hear, it's the sizzle. slowly, slowly also the sizzle will start to come up, which means the oil is getting hotter, and it's infusing the oil gently. Look how many beautiful Prosecco bubbles are now in the pan. And we are not rushing. We don't want to rush. Absolutely do not rush this, because it's the essence of a good cooking is to infuse properly the garlic into the oil. Okay, so piano piano. The garlic, see, you can hear now the sizzle. So your body is explaining you what is happening. The smell, the bubbles, and the sizzle. So once the oil is getting hot, so you're infusing properly the garlic into the oil, that's the moment to put the sausage that you previously moved out of the plate into the pan. Because we have to sear nicely the sausage. See that you will see the sausage will slowly change the color, because we are going to sear. Sear means that we are making sure that all the flavor is sealed properly inside the meat, so that we are not losing the flavor. So this step is very important. You will need about 2-3 minutes to make sure that it will be nicely sealed and also brown a little bit to get the flavor. Okay, now about 5-6 minutes after, see that Gennaro is removing the garlic from the pan. The meat nicely sealed. Also, the color is changed, but it's browning and taking a nice flavor, and it's dry. So most of the juice in the fat came out. If there is some extra water, you have to make sure that the meat is nice and dry. And see that there is nice brown color. So beautifully sealed and brown nicely. And remove the garlic. So at this point, what is important is to put some Mediterranean fine sea salt. So we're using Mediterranean fine sea salt because we are surrounded by the sea. Therefore, it's an ingredient that we use in all of our cooking. Fine sea salt, season, fresh parsley, fresh chopped parsley, very nice small chopped parsley, very nicely. Okay, now, next step. We have to cook the tomatoes. Again, we are going to first pour extra virgin olive oil in a pan. You can also use virgin olive oil, but we produce extra virgin olive oil, so we cook with extra virgin olive oil. If you see, the flame is not on, so at this point we are going to add chopped garlic, not too small, because we don't want the flavor of the garlic to be too predominant. So if it's chopped too small, then the flavor of the garlic becomes too predominant. And very important, you saw Gennaro, he turned off on the flame of the flame under the pan after adding olive oil and garlic into the pan. The same, like I said before, the reason why we do that is because we do not want to burn the garlic. We want to infuse the garlic into the oil. And the only way that we can do that is to not heat the oil. Otherwise the garlic is gone and the flavor is gone. So what is important now, we are going slowly, we're waiting, and see the beauty? The Prosecco bubbles are coming. Look how beautiful they are. Remember your senses. You're not only cooking, you're using your body. Use your eyes, your ears, and your nose. The first thing that you will feel is the smell of the garlic. The second is this beautiful Prosecco bubbles and the sizzle. So they're all there. So we're doing a good job. We're not burning the garlic. At this point, we have the sweet cherry tomatoes chopped that we previously chopped, the parsley, and also we have the sweet cherry tomatoes in water and salt to enhance the flavor. See, the Gennaro is also adding the parsley on top of the cherry tomatoes, but it's not adding the parsley into the pan because it's so delicate that it will burn in a second. And burnt parsley is not so healthy. Some people are allergic to it and they get stomach ache. So put them on top of the cherry tomatoes. Wow! And then this is the sound of happiness. Look at the flavor, look at the color. Just olive oil, garlic, cherry tomatoes, parsley. So simple, so incredible, so tasty. At this point, because we know we are in April, that the cherry tomatoes are not so sweet like we are used to cook. We are using now our sweet cherry tomatoes. Remove the water, open the jar, remove the water out of the jar, and then you can add this sweet cherry tomatoes. This is a variety of tomatoes that we grow in the mountain. They are like candy. You can eat like candy. And we harvest and we jar them in August when they are to the top, at the peak of the season. So they are super sweet. They are going to make a very, very sweet sauce. So we combine them. Last thing we're going to add fine sea salt because we're toasting, so fine Mediterranean sea salt. Nice stirring. And now this sauce needs to cook for about 15 minutes. No cover on. And the heat quite high, medium high, because we have to cook nicely the cherry tomatoes. Okay. Now, after 15 minutes, sauce is ready. See, they are nice and cooked, the tomatoes. Gennaro turned off the flame. And look at the beauty now. We are now combining the sausage and the tomatoes. Now, why Gennaro cooked these separately? Because he wants to keep both consistency, flavor. If we cook the sausage and the tomatoes together, the water and the tomatoes will make the sausage mushy and not crunchy, so soft. This way, cooking separately, the sausage first, the tomatoes after, and then combining, you are able to taste the sausage, the consistency, the flavor, the sweetness of the tomatoes. So it's incredible. So what are we doing now? Once combined and all together, you have to leave the sauce to rest for at least an hour. Okay, so they will marry the flavor gently, nicely, no stress, no shock. So it's a good hour to let them rest. And then we will cook the pasta and we will combine them. Till later. Ciao. Okay, now the water is boiling. Okay, so water boiling. Put the sauce on flame, so reheat the sauce. And put the pasta into the boiling water. We're using Corteccia. It's a nice fresh pasta, Corteccia pasta. Cook a few minutes, and then we're going to put the pasta into the sauce. Okay, now 5 minutes passed, so the pasta is ready. We're going to drain the pasta, the Corteccia, and add them into the sauce. Chopping some fresh parsley on top, and of course, last but not less important, to finish, to add flavor, a beautiful drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. Here you are, nice, flavorful. Rich in this way, the olive oil gives a nice flavor, the parsley fresh. Ecco qua, here you are. Pasta is ready, and now we're going to serve it. You can add, if you want, a beautiful teaspoon or more of our spicy sauce, red hell, chili, nice sauce if you want to add that, and some Parmigiano Reggiano, but it's up to you. Otherwise, it's beautiful like this. Buon appetito from Chiara and Gennaro.